You booked it, episode 129. What's going on, everyone? Thank you for joining me today on You Booked It, the #1 podcast where you learn how to create a successful entertainment career. Every episode is a masterclass on how to move your career forward. And if you want even more, head over to youbookeditpodcast.com and join the email community where we dig deep into what you can be doing right now to help book that next gig. And now, let's do this. Okay, let's get started. I am excited to introduce my guest today, Bravita Threatt. Are you ready for this, Bravita?
I'm ready.
All right, let's do it. Bravita is the dance captain and swing on Broadway's hit musical Disney's The Lion King. Former member of Disney's The Lion King Las Vegas and Disney's The Lion King Gazelle Tour. Miss Threatt is a graduate of Virginia Commonwealth University in Richmond, Virginia, and Woodside High School for the Performing Arts in Newport News, Virginia. She has been a company member and teacher at Dallas Black Dance Theater and Lula Washington Dance Theater. Miss Threatt was also in the CW's Katie Keene, Fox Films Avatar, ESPN Sports Science Meet the Lion King Biomechanics, and QVC's Disney Christmas Special. She is a former Ms. Black Los Angeles, Miss Suffolk, and member of Zeta Phi Beta Sorority, Inc. Bravita, that is a quick intro of who you are and what you've done, but why don't you tell us a little bit more about yourself? Fill in the gaps, and a little bit more about what you do as a professional in the entertainment industry.
Sure. First of all, thank you for that. And I love how you said my sorority, Zeta Phi Beta sorority. I love it. You did great.
Oh, beautiful.
So I'm like just a Black girl from Virginia with a military brat. And I started dancing at the age of 5, and I've just been blessed to continue doing the things that I love to do. So I never really had to work a day in my life, but I've still been stressed, but I loved every second of it type thing. And what else can I say? Let's talk about me being a professional performer. I like to say I used to go to the Minskoff Theater on Broadway every single day and work with Disney's The Lion King and work with people and share my gift on stage. Not every night because I was a swing, and as a swing, many of you may know, you don't perform every night, but you perform when somebody's not there. So I like to think of me and my swing sisters and brothers as superheroes, like we're performers.
Yeah.
That and trying to stay ready all the time was a big part of my life. So it was going to the gym, going to PT to maintain the body, going to yoga. I didn't take class as much as I should, but now that COVID's happening, I can take it anytime. And then also being the dance captain is teaching people the show. It's also learning how to communicate with people in the show. That's a big thing
Mm.
for me, especially since from a young age I started dancing. So I definitely can communicate with my body, but I was not always good communicating verbally. But being the dance captain in a major show that's been in this 22 years old, it's a tool that I worked on. I had growing pains, and I'm glad I did because I learned how to communicate with people. And I understand that you have to reach people where they are, and everybody has a different language, even though we all speak English.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for that. And you're right. It's first off, let's talk about the swing life. I have made a lot of my career being a swing, so I'm right there with you. It's full on, but I love it.
I love it. I do love it, especially since there are different people. Some people like to go and do the same track every single day, and that's amazing. But then there are others like us who maybe you'll get bored doing the same thing every day, or maybe we just have the brain that allows us to be able to pick up in a different track in a
Hmm.
different role and be okay with it. And then it's also the nerves. Like some people are like, oh my God, I have to go into another spot. Oh my God, oh my God. And as a swing, you could be like that in the inside, but you definitely cannot show it, right?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. I remember when the first time I was a swing, it was on the tour. And I was going in for like my third position because when you first get to this tour, they will swing people out so that you can get into all your tracks. And
Yeah.
I was going on for my third track, and I had been on the tour before as a regular ensemble member. And so people already knew me. So I'm going in for this third one that I had never done. I had already done a couple of the tracks because I had been at the different companies just to fill in for people's leaves or medical leaves or extended vacations or something like that. But I go in and we're backing out to do Lioness Chant. And in my head, I was freaking out. And people were just talking to me. They're like, hey, yeah, what did you say, Bravita? And I could not answer them. Like, we're about to go on stage. I don't really know my number that I'm about to go to. Because when people are normally in the show, they can talk and have a conversation and then get right back to what they're doing. And I
Of course.
could not. I couldn't even respond because I was just so going over the numbers. I'm going to 7, then I'm going to go down to 3, go to the grass track. But yeah, I
Yeah,
think that's
and
what it is.
do you ever have this moment, especially when you're swinging, you've got multiple tracks in your head, and you're waiting in the wings, ready to enter, and you start thinking about it, and you're like, I honestly have no idea what number I'm supposed to go to. It's not like you trust your brain. You're like, I know it's in there. As soon as I step out on stage, I'm gonna go to the right place, do the right choreo, but I could not
Yes.
tell you what I'm about to do in this
Yeah.
moment.
See, I don't do that. When I'm in the wing, because that would definitely get you just twisted and just
Yeah, I had to stop
totally
freaking
going the
myself
wrong.
out because that would freak me
Yep.
out. Then I'd screw it up. I'd go, nope, just don't think, just go.
You can't, when you're at the wing, it's too late. Just
Yeah,
keep
exactly right.
going.
Yeah.
And actually, when I'm in the wing, if I don't just keep going, I'll being dance captain, I'll just be watching somebody and be like, oh my God, that is so beautiful. Oh my God, I'm supposed to
Yeah.
be on stage right now.
I feel like we've all had that moment for sure. You've been performing in the theater long enough. You you definitely have that moment. You're just watching the show. This is great. What a great show.
Oh, this is, oh
five
my
minutes,
goodness.
5 minutes. I gotta go.
And then, of course, every time that happens, oh my God, I hate that I said every time it happens, like it happens all the time. Maybe it does happen a lot, but but after I get on stage and things like that after the show, I'm like, you know what? I was watching you when I was supposed to be on stage, and you were amazing. I,
Yeah. See, there's
I
the
have to
silver lining.
share.
So good. And let's move on to our first section here. And Bravita, look, I am a sucker for a good quote. What is your favorite quote you'd like to share with everyone?
My favorite quote that I would like to share is just faith without works is dead. So in this industry, like you have to have faith. Like you have to believe that you can do it when people
Mm,
don't. So like that is and I grew up in the church, so you have to have faith. If you could just have faith the size of a mustard seed, then you could do it. That's it. So for me, also another thing is you don't always know what your next gig is or when you'll get your next gig. So you have to have faith that you're going to continue on. Like it's such a big deal. And you get so many no's and you can't let that take you down, right?
yeah.
So that the faith is big, and then the works is you gotta put in the work to get to get to see your vision come forward. So faith without works is dead. It's like something that I live by. You got to put in the work and you got to have faith. And if you just have faith and no work, you're just dreaming. We want our dreams to become realities. So you definitely have to put in the work. And you can put in the work, but not have the faith and the vision. And then where are you going with this work?
Exactly right. Yeah, they're two sides of the exact same coin, aren't they?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm so glad that you brought that up about having the faith and the work because, gosh, what is the thing? It's the secret. I've spoken with so many people throughout my life that they're big secret fans. And they're like, oh, I just put it out in the universe. I'm like, okay, it's one, in my opinion, how about that? Let's start there. I think it's one thing to manifest it and think about something. But like you said, if you're not putting in the work, if you don't know the destination, if you don't know what you're going to work towards, and then you actually take action on that, then you're just dreaming. There's something
Right.
to be said about putting it out there for sure, but you got to move towards it.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah, so
And
key.
some and it's weird because sometimes you don't know exactly where you're going,
Yeah,
but you have an idea. Sometimes you don't even have an idea. You just got to keep going, and then the faith and the vision will come back. But the reason why you're working is because you have the faith. So I feel like I sound ridiculous, but you get what I'm saying. You absolutely get what I'm saying.
absolutely. And you doesn't sound ridiculous to me. I think it's brilliant.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Perfect. And let's move on to this next section here. And Bravita, of course, you are an entertainer. I'm an entertainer, and I think that you'd agree. This industry can be one of the most subjective, brutally honest, personally emotional industries in existence. And you know as well as I that in order to create and have a successful career in this industry like you're having now takes a lot of dedication and hard work. And while, yeah, there's an outrageous amount of fun and excitement doing what we do, there are also our fair share of obstacles, challenges, and failures we are going to experience and we're going to have to move forward through. So tell us, what is one key challenge, obstacle, or failure you've experienced in your career, and how did you come out the other side better because of it?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely to everything you said. That was yes, yes, and yes. Mine happened fairly early. I tore my ACL and meniscus when I was 14 years
Mm,
old. And of course, I was dancing. I did competition dance and things like that before dance moms was a thing.
yep.
So, like, it was like that, but it wasn't as bad as it is now. So I did that. And I think for a year, I couldn't dance. So when something is taken away from you, is when you realize how important it is to you, right?
For sure.
So I cried every time, like any song I ever danced to, anytime I like rolled by the dance studio, and the dance studio was like right by my house. And so I started singing more in school. And I was like, you know what? Oh, I got better. Of course, I got better. And I still didn't really understand how important dance was to me.
Mm.
I told you I started singing and I started doing other things. And then as I got better, I went back to dancing. But I was like, oh, okay, I did this. I went ahead and upon graduation, I decided that I was going to go to Hampton University and get a bachelor's master. They have this bachelor's master's program where you can get an MBA and your bachelor's in business in 5 years. So I was like, this is great. I could go work in my Fortune 500 company sooner. And I'll go here and I'll dance with the dance troupe. It was like a dance troupe that they have. Most times when the paper is writing you up, they like say the Lion King dance troupe. No, this was really a dance troupe. So I go to Hampton University, I get on the cheerleading squad. Now I go to see this troupe dance. They were great, but I wouldn't be able to express myself there. And I didn't feel like it's where I needed to be. As soon as I saw that this company wouldn't suit me, we called Virginia Commonwealth University Dance and Choreography Department, and I was like in school in 2 months at VCU. So that was the thing for me. Like, turn my ACL and meniscus made me realize that dance was important to me. And then I didn't really get how important and that it was part of my life's work and destiny to be a performer and share until I decided, oh, I'm gonna go to college and not include dance in my life. And I was able to switch and go to VCU and major in dance and choreography. And as I continued to dance, the upside of it is at 26, I was diagnosed with arthritis in that same knee.
Oh,
But
wow.
since, yeah, crazy. Since I had that injury so early and PT and all of the exercises and help that I had been working on,
Mm.
I knew how to take care of my body from this injury. So a lot of dancers, especially instinct performers, period, when they get hurt, they do not know how to take care of their bodies. But since it's something that I have been like working on and working at since I was 14, I knew how to take care of my body from this injury. So now at 35, I'm still maintaining, I'm still working on it. And also when people get hurt in The Lion King, there's a still stage. It's repetitive, it's heavy costumes. I'm not the PT, but I definitely can help them. Hey, when you get home, don't forget to soak, or don't forget the ice and elevate tonight with a glass of wine, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess that was long. But the thing is, I tore the ACL really, really bad. I do have arthritis, but in the long run, I'm 35, still dancing and singing and able to take care of my body.
Oh, taking care of your body. There's so much to be said about that. And anyone who's listening to this that is in your teens or you're in your early 20s, please listen to that and take care of your body because it won't bounce back so quickly eventually. It's guaranteed to not bounce back.
Yep.
And
Yep.
take care of your body, take the time to warm up. It's a little bit of time, and that little bit makes a massive difference for the longevity of your career. It's so, so, so important.
So important. So
Yes.
important. And speaking of warming up, I didn't warm up until I was 26 years old. And it was like I turned 26 and something clicked, and it was like, oh my God, I just can't go to the ballet bar. Like I had to start warming up.
Mm.
And as I got older, like now it's just a part of life. I want to warm up because my body just needs it and I just feel so much better. I want to stretch after I perform. I want to roll out, and those things also help me the next day. Do you have that issue when you get out of bed? If you don't stretch or roll out the night before, when you get out of bed, it may be harder to get out of bed?
Yeah, well, you know what I'm dealing with now is that I started jump roping for some extra
Oh,
cardio. My calves, they are so sore. It's a chore just to walk anywhere. But you know what? I'll keep it up, keep stretching them out. My
yep,
body
yep,
will adjust. But
yep.
whew, that's what I'm dealing with right now.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I can imagine because as I was telling you before, I'm in Washington, Tacoma, and the hills here, like you walk up a hill and my calves are like, "Oh, we don't do this."
No.
Well, we are now, so let's do it and
Exactly
stretch it
right.
out.
Exactly right. Well, let's take a moment to talk about a time that I like to call your spotlight moment. That one moment in time you realized, yes, I am going to be an entertainer for a living, or maybe it was, yes, this is what I need to be doing as an entertainer. Tell us about that.
Now that is the moment when I got the call from Disney's The Lion King. I was at Dallas Black Dance Theater. I had just finished taking ballet class and I got the call. And I was like, oh my God, they left me a voicemail. So it was like, oh my God, they like called me. Like, I'm good enough to be in the Lion King. And I
Yeah.
like ran through the building and I told everybody if they wanted to listen or not. I told Miss Williams, the director and founder of Dallas Black Dance Theater, and she like set me down because I had to finish out the season. She set me down and she was like, okay, yeah, yeah. Now, Bravita, I want you to finish out the season, yeah, and don't show out on the stage, Bravita. what she what she meant by that, she didn't want me to show out. She wanted me to do what everybody else was doing and do what
Yeah,
I
of
was supposed to be
course.
doing. And I told her that I would. But you know, when you're excited, and I already practiced at performance level. So then when you get on the stage, it's heightened because I'm practicing like I'm performing. So then when I am performing, I'm just living my life. So I had a
Absolutely.
great show. And when I got to the Lion King to rehearse, it was like, these people want to dress me. These people are going to wash my underclothes. Wow, like they have shoes for me. I don't
Yeah.
have to do a quick change by myself. I was just like, wow, I have worked so hard. And I thought that you just keep, you know, working harder and harder. And you do, once you go to Broadway, you do continue to work harder, but not in that way. Like somebody's washing your clothes, somebody's helping you get dressed, you don't have to buy your makeup. I was just like, wow, you guys are so nice. And then when I went to the tour and they were doing the same thing, this is amazing. And I remember one of my cast members, I had my Carmax chapstick. I don't know because I
Oh,
don't even use it anymore.
Carmex.
And
Yeah.
Carmax, thank you. I had that, and he was like, "Oh, girl, why don't you get?" It was called chicken poop. This great chapstick called chicken poop. Why don't you go get some chicken poop from hair and makeup? And I was like, I could take that home. Everybody was like laughing at me, like, "Girl, you're with the Lion King now." Yeah. So those were my aha moments, like getting the call and just being like too thrilled. Like you don't realize you're just always working, just working, and you don't realize that you can elevate to another level. So that was just those, I guess those were my moments.
Yeah, I love it. And I want to piggyback on that real quick and talk about your number one booked it moment. Walk us through that day and the audition, the callbacks, if they happen to be a part of it. What was going on in your life, and what about that moment makes it your favorite booked it moment?
Absolutely. My favorite moment, booked it moment, was actually the first time I auditioned for The Lion King. I auditioned twice for The Lion King. And the first time I was there in LA. And it was quite a few girls for the Lion King audition. And it was about three dance cuts, and then we sang. Before the third dance cut, Mark Brandon had us line up by height, and he took our resumes and he would look at the resume and look at the girl and say the name and say the height next to the name for the girl. So let's say the girl next to me was Lisa. Okay. So he would look at Lisa and be like, Lisa, 5'5", and she'll say yes. And then he came to me next and said, Bravita. I was like, yes. He said, 5'5". No, you're not 5'5". He said, so how, on my resume, of course, I had 5'5". And he said, so how tall are you? I was like, I'm 5'3". And the dance supervisor, Celise, says, oh, she lied. Oh, she lied. And then Mark Brandon said, so why did you lie? I said, I just wanted a job. Before he moved on to the next girl, he said, he made an announcement to everybody. He said, you know what? Maybe you shouldn't lie on your resume because in The Lion King, it benefits you if you're shorter. And then
Hi.
he moves on to the next girl, and nobody else had lied about their height. Like I thought it was a thing. Like I thought everybody's lying about their height, you know. So he moved on, okay. And then I got kept, and then a couple moments later we dry off, and then we go in to sing one at a time. Now the MD's in there, and I think one other person. So it's the music director. I don't know who that other person was, casting director, dance supervisor. So those other two people did not know anything about me before I come in there. When I walk in the door, the dance supervisor, Celise, goes, oh, she lied. Come on in here, liar. How you doing, liar?
See, that's what separated you.
And so on top of that, I go in there and I have no sheet music. What are you doing? Oh gosh. Oh, growth. Thank you, Lord, for growth. And she says to me, okay, so next time you come back in here, don't lie and have some sheet music. So that is definitely just a story to remember. And then the next time I came back, I did not lie on my resume, and I did not have sheet music. As Talise says to me in front of the same people again, listen, liar, didn't I tell you to bring sheet music? It worked out in my favor. I sang Amazing Grace again because I said I was raised in the church. I know where that sits in my voice. I knew not to sing Happy Birthday. That doesn't work for me. I did Happy Birthday in an audition before, and I asked the pianist to stop. I was like, thank you, I got it, because it wasn't sounding good to my untrained ear. So I just asked him to stop, and I continued to sing. So from that experience, I knew I wasn't singing Happy Birthday
Right.
or a job that I wanted. So yeah, absolutely. That is so fun. It's so funny to go back over it in my head right now because all those people are just beautiful people that were behind the table that day and
Yeah.
have just watched me grow. And I love to see them when they come see the show.
Oh, that's
That's
so good. And then after that second audition, that's when you got the call that you talked about earlier?
yes, that's when I got that call.
Oh, amazing. Love it. Such good stories. Yeah, it's always best to say your actual height for everyone out there. It makes a difference. Even like the half inches, they make a difference depending on the costume that you might have to be going into.
Yeah, yep. That's
Absolutely.
true.
That little half
The
size might be exactly what gets you cast.
It really that's what I definitely learned with that audition. The young lady that I took the place of, we were basically the exact same size. They did not have to do much to the costumes. Like that sometimes that's what they're waiting on. They're waiting for somebody that could just fit the costume.
Yeah, absolutely. And let's take a moment to talk about the present. What projects are you working on now? What are you looking forward to? And it's a weird time, right? We're amidst this global pandemic. How do you see the entertainment industry moving forward in the next couple of years?
Yeah, this is definitely a time. But I see that a lot of my friends and coworkers are taking advantage of it. And I think that it's wonderful. And just talking to you, I think that you're taking advantage. And I love that. Turn lemons into lemonade. And so for me, I had planned to take a leave from Disney's The Lion King and start a dance studio right in Richmond, where I'm from. Went to VCU, Virginia Commonwealth University, right there in Richmond. I danced at Busch Gardens. I did everything in Virginia that I could do. And I still feel like I wasn't prepared for Broadway. So I wanted to come back and share all of my knowledge with young artists. I was not able to start a physical dance studio because of COVID and how things worked out. But I figured, okay, I still want Studio Bravo to thrive. I've known that I'm supposed to help the next generation of artists grow. And I've always known that. I always knew that it was going to be called Studio Bravo, and it was going to be a dance and fitness studio. Fitness for the parents while they're watching their students take class, at least do cardio. Because a lot of the times, I feel like dance moms don't really take care of themselves. They're too busy worried about the costumes and the rhinestones and who's in the front and who's doing this and who's doing that. When mom, let's like get you healthy. Let's do a little cardio. Let's just focus on you. And
Yeah.
you can still see your children because the plans were to have a like viewing room that was a cardio room where you can watch your children in class while you take cardio. I definitely didn't want any like couches or anything in there because I don't want moms sitting around gossiping. That
Yeah, that's
happened a
so
lot
clever.
where it happened a lot where I danced. And I think that it also starts to affect the artist. Because my mom is going to say this, so I have to do this instead of just dancing your face off. And thank you. So what I decided was I need to do this virtually. And my friends who are professional artists aren't getting paid. So if I can start up Studio Bravo and they be the teachers, that's not only a way to get my friends paid, but it's also a way to get Studio Bravo's name out there.
Hmm.
So I have started a virtual dance studio with a Broadway gallery and virtual weekly classes. And the Broadway gallery consists of 45-minute to 60-minute classes taught by all professionals on Broadway or professional concert companies such as Philadelphia, Dallas Black, and then other Broadway shows like Mean Girls, Mrs. Doubtfire, The Color Purple. Oh, also a teaching artist, excuse me, is from, he used to work in a Chicago dance company, which I can't think of right now.
Joffrey?
No, it's a jazz company. Of course, I can't think about it when I need to
Hubbard
think
Street?
about it. Hubbard Street. Thank
There
you.
we are. Boom.
There it is. So I just called each of my friends and told them my vision. Hey, can you teach a 45-minute to 60-minute class and record it and send it to me? And then I can send you some monies for it, and I put it in the Studio Broadway Gallery. And can you do that about twice a month? And so everybody was like, even some people couldn't do it, and things are weird. Totally get it, but everybody supported it. And one of my friends, she was like, "Girl, I haven't done anything with my body. I'm not even sure I could take a 45-minute class." So I'm like, "Listen, girl, I totally get it." It's turned out great. In the Broadway Gallery, which I say is part of the Studio Broadway virtual program, all the genres are in there. And that consists of ballet, tap, jazz, modern, hip hop, stretch, and the acting course for acting tips. So it's just, you can dance anytime, anywhere. I love the idea. And then for the virtual classes, they are basically the same, just adding Caribbean fusion, and that's about it. So it's all those classes weekly for the virtual classes. That's what I'm working on.
Very cool.
Yeah, I'm excited, super excited about it. And as far as the industry and where we're going, I don't, I am saddened. I watched Hamilton on Disney Plus a couple of weeks ago.
Hmm.
And of course, I was excited to see it. But a part of me, as I was watching it, was like, is this what Broadway's going to be? Is it going to be that the performers are performing and the audience is live streaming from home nightly? Is that what it's going to be? Because if that's what it's going to be, you're missing so many other points of the show because you can only see what the camera is allowing you to see. So that, like, the thought of that is so sad and disheartening because the art is just being lost.
You know, I had a guest on the other day, and his thought was, they're doing obviously the Hamilton thing, but he envisioned, hey, what if it becomes, yeah, there'll be live streaming tickets available to make it mass market, but they would have to install lots of really crazy cameras all over the place to make it happen nightly.
Yeah.
But it would
Hmm.
be a cost that anyone could get to it. It could be accessible, but still have the live audiences. This is assuming we go back to having, full theaters and things like this. I was like, you know what?
Right.
That's cool to make it more accessible, but it would
Hmm.
also be a way for the shows to increase their revenue as well, which could help everybody out.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Oh.
didn't think about that. In which that could very well happen because I feel like COVID has allowed people to advance quicker than what they were because they
Mm,
had to.
yes,
So that would be like really great. But have you ever watched Black Mirror on Netflix?
I have not all of them. I've watched a handful of them, and they're crazy.
Yeah, they're like crazy. And so I've only watched like maybe four, but one of them that I watched was like just showing you how like technology could take over humanity almost, and technology be the focal point. And I feel like that's where we're headed if we do that. Instead of being around people, you just watch it on TV.
Yeah, yeah, it's a crazy time. We'll
It's
see what happens,
crazy.
hey?
Yeah, yeah. And it's definitely going to be better than what we're thinking because everything goes always work for our greater good. That's one thing I always remember too. Everything always works for our greater good.
For sure. And it is time to move on to one of my favorite sections in the interview. I call it the Grease Lightning Round. I am going to ask you a handful of questions. I want you to answer them as quickly and concisely as possible, one after another. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, first question. What was the one thing holding you back from committing to a career as an entertainer?
There was no one thing holding me back.
Second question. What is the best piece of advice you have ever received?
To know who you are, what you want, and who you serve.
Be so clear on those things. Third question. What is something that is working for you right now? Or if you'd like to go pre COVID, what was working for you before our industry went on pause?
Oh, got it. Being okay with being uncomfortable was working for me.
Very good. And that's a practice thing as
Yeah,
well. You got to practice it and you get better at it.
absolutely.
Yes. And the fourth question. What is your best resource, whether that's a book, a movie, a YouTube video, maybe a podcast or piece of technology that you've found is helping your career right now?
I was so ready to be fast, and now I'm really thinking about these questions, and I'm not fast. A great resource for me is just to know that, honestly, a great resource is Google. Google knows everything.
Sure does.
And just to know that I don't know everything, but have access to everything at the same time.
It's a beautiful thing. And the fifth question, if you had to start your career from scratch, but you still had all the knowledge and experience you've collected from your career in this industry, what would you do or not do? Would you do anything differently, or would you keep it the same?
I would definitely do things differently. I would have less fear and more confidence in every way.
And the last question, what is the golden nugget knowledge drop you've learned from your successful career in this industry you'd like to leave with our listeners?
I definitely like to leave that you have to be yourself and know yourself, because everybody behind the table wants you to win. But if you're not showing them who you are, or if you don't know who you are, they don't know who you are. So just know yourself and be yourself.
Yes. If you don't know who you are, then they don't know who you are. That was really well said. And to wrap up this interview, Bravita, it is time to give yourself a plug. Where can we find you? How do our listeners connect with you? Is there anything you want to promote?
Yes, you guys. My Facebook is just Bravita Threatt, and my Instagram is The Studio Bravo. So for everybody who's listening, I have made a welcome promo for you. So if you like to sign up for the gallery, then you can use Bravo, that's capital B, RAVO 25, and receive $25 off your first month of the Broadway Gallery. So there are Broadway professionals teaching classes, and you're able to access it anytime. That means you don't have to wear a mask. You can stay in the comfort of your own home, and you can learn combos and then just send them to me at excellence@thestudiobravo.com. And we can't wait to see how fierce you are.
Beautiful. And for everyone listening out there, I have put the links to everything Bravita just said into the description of this episode. You can also go to youbookeditpodcast.com/Bravo, and that'll take you straight to her registration page so you can get started in the gallery straight away. Bravita, it has been such a pleasure to have you on today. I'm so glad we got connected. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me. This is just a testament to how small the world is and how we're all connected.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for joining us today. Don't miss an episode. I have a new guest 7 days a week. Every guest drops more value and insight than any other resource out there. So make sure you hit that subscribe button. If you enjoyed this episode, we'd love to hear from you. Leave us a rating and review. Also, be sure to head over to youbookeditpodcast.com and join our free email community where we dig deep into a continually growing resource of truly actionable things you can be doing right now to help you advance your entertainment career. All the best to you. We'll see you tomorrow.